Dia. Deixa eu testar aqui o microfone. Deixa eu testar aqui. Ah, agora foi. Bom dia, bom dia. Vambora, velho. Vambora. Mais um dia de EWC. Depois da finalzinha de Valorant. Agora a gente tá aí no primeiro dia de LoL, velho. E sem perder muito tempo, vamos colocar aqui na tela. Pô. Team 1 contra Sentinels, correto? Deixa eu ver aqui. Team 1 contra... Não, Team Secret contra Sentinels. Bora. Ué, eu tô... Ih, não, já foi já, na verdade, ó. Tô falando besteira. É Game Sports contra... Isso aqui é Stream B, né? Isso aqui é Stream B, mano. Calma aí. É isso mesmo. Team Secret contra Team 1. Tá certo.
Bienvenue à Team Secret Wales, the APAC contenders with experience, with confidence. Attention à ne pas sous-estimer Team Secret.
Caraca, que sono. Deixa eu botar aqui em tela cheia. Toda a estrutura na EWC, entrada, maneira, tá? Bora. Deixa eu ajeitar aqui, ver se tá tudo certinho.
Bien au-delà de la Corée du Sud, les Genji sont là pour conserver leur titre.
A crowded stage packed with the best in the world looking to make history once again at the Esports World Cup, and we start off with a ruthless group stage.
Best of ones,
Deixa eu ajeitar aqui.
anyone can fall. Bienvenue au group stage de l'Esports World Cup League of Legends.
Faites du bruit!
I am the arena.
Ó, show de edição, hein?
I am the slaughterhouse.
Show de edição.
I am the cathedral where
Eu sou não sei o que, eu não sou não sei o que lá.
the grave
Showzinho de edição, eu gostei, hein?
when the crowd pour in
Deixa eu dar um ok aqui nas coisas.
boo. Heroes are minted in my life.
Deixa eu dar um ok aqui nas coisas.
Mythologies whispered into a long night.
Showzinho de edição, mano.
I choose no sides. I keep no score. I only hold the silence before the first roar. I've watched new faces being carved
tá.
into gods
Deixa
in a
aqui, ó.
single day. A single fight. A single flash of brilliance
Deixa um
that
pouquinho mais
rewrote
alto aqui
every
pra galera
record
ver.
in sight. I also saw them fall. Kings,
Essas jaquetas
egos,
dos times de LoL tão
all
bonitinhas,
crumbled
mano.
by one bad
Todos
call,
os times de esporte,
one
né? Mas
missed
essa em específica
spell.
do LoL tá bem legalzinho.
One doubt that was never meant
Tá
to
bem
dwell.
legalzinho.
I have watched brilliance take over, mastering the rift by the speed of thought. A moment of perfection that cannot be bought. I held the breath before the kill. And caught the
Nossa,
long
tem um
exhale
respiro antes
to find
da
one
morte. Tá. Vai torcer, você que apareceu a
I am
gente?
the beast who cradles legends in my glow,
Tá.
and the same one that swallows them whole.
Tem fui da LoL, velho. Tem fui da LoL.
And yet, I am still here, waiting for the next souls brave enough to walk my stage, to take their places beneath my gaze, to rise or to fall, and to seal their fates.
Pra cair, né? E pra conquistar. Estou aqui pra encarar meu destino. Meu fate, eu esqueci que é fate, mas acho que é destino. Olha os jogadores de LoLzinho, velho. Estilos diferentes aí, velho. Estilos diferentes de jogadores de LoLzinho. Coisa boa, filho. Coisa boa.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the
Ladies
Esports
and
World Cup.
gentlemen.
I'm Atlas. I'm joined by Wolf here for our first best of one, with
Vou botar
Genji
esses aqui.
taking on Carmine Corp here, and Genji with the home ground
Show de
disadvantage,
bola, sim.
moving on to the rift for this one
Vambora,
as
velho.
the
Ai, ai,
defending
ai.
winners of EWC last year.
There's so many storylines packed into our very first best of one. You have the defending winners of the Esports World Cup, as mentioned, against the home crowd here, with Carmine Corp being in our host country of France, their home ground. And we have Genji coming off of a struggle. They did not qualify for MSI. There's a lot less tape of this team right now because they did not perform in our last international tournament. So struggles there, but on the other side, KC also really underperforming compared to what they looked like domestically in the LEC at MSI. So two teams trying to dig their way out right now of a bit of a hole.
Yeah, and this is the difficulty, right? Obviously, the play-ins at MSI was a difficult one, right? There's one team that makes it out, and unfortunately, T1 was in that group. So that was a rough time. The real problem, though, is that they weren't able to even get through Team Liquid at that time. And so after both of the LEC representatives were eliminated by North American teams, I imagine there is a chip on their shoulder as they make their way over to Paris for EWC. And we'll see whether they can get through Genji here. This group is a rough one if you're not Genji. If you're Genji, you're probably pretty happy about being here. And we'll see whether KC can be the team to follow them out of the group as well. With 4 groups, it is double elimination, so there is at least a little bit of leeway. But best of ones, man, anything can happen.
Absolutely, and that is, I think, if you're a KC fan, what you are hoping to bank on here. There's no fearless in this part of the tournament. It's
Well,
just,
there is.
Yeah, but
they're best of ones.
it's
Yeah.
best of one. So effectively not. And as a result of that, if you have one good read, or if you have one bad read, in the case of Genji, you get an early game rolling, anything could happen here. We do have a pretty snowballing meta. It has been all year long since the introduction of role quests. The 80 carry has been the central focus. It has been getting ahead. But speaking of aims out strong here, Ryu and Genji have had that additional time because they did not go to play-ins. They did not play through MSI at all to prepare for this tournament. We're playing on the same patch that MSI was played on. Lock is still disabled. So there is a chance that we just see the same type of meta that we saw at MSI just prior, but maybe some new ideas coming through here from Genji.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting, right? Because I think both of them have the Ziggs shared. I feel like every 80 carry has played Ziggs. Like, that's just normal. But both Ruler and Kalist, like, Kalist hasn't played a mage on the bottom side of the map all year long outside of a Ziggs game, right? That was at MSI. That was just before they went home. So I don't know whether this is going to be an indication of there wasn't enough time to see all of what KC had prepared, but him and Ruler just don't tend to go that direction. So maybe this is going to be an easier matchup for them because they get to just stick to their comfort zone and actually play the shooty champion.
What's really interesting, too, between these two players is Ruler hasn't played it as much this.
Yeah. And this is another really fun matchup in the support position, right? Busio has been absolutely incredible. And Duro has had a little bit more of a slower...
Too much, but I think is really critical as you see it on screen here. Yike versus Canyon is one that I really have my eye on because I think Yike has been incredible for this squad. You know, he's sitting at a 68.5% KP.
In mind as Busio immediately slams the Camille, the most popular pick of MSI on this exact same patch. And we'll see what the answer is going to be here from Duro, because I love this, right? It kind of blocks the Bard pick that we were just talking about from ever even really happening.
Yeah, it's a really great way to start a draft and to make a clear statement here.
Oh dear.
Syndra, very early on in the draft here, alongside Canyon's iconic Lee Sin. And it's a very early lock, as if Genji had a different idea about this draft from the get-go.
Yeah, and you look, Chovy stone cold right now as the Anivia is getting hovered. In our region, that's a flex pick all over the place, but I have a feeling that is going to be heading into Yehu's hands, who we haven't seen face off against Chovy in maybe ever, but definitely for a very long time.
There's a lot of
Vai ficar caindo direto, eu acho.
now in this draft between the Camille ultimate, and now even with the Cassiopeia coming down, And the ability for the Nefiri to get on top of a single immobile target, like Syndra, for example, feels fantastic here. They have a lot of great team fight power here, as well as scaling. We'll see what this third pick is going to be here now for Gen G. The Syndra technically could be played in the bottom lane, but I think incredibly unlikely here for Gen G.
Yeah. The Cassiopeia as well could be played in the bottom lane, but it's not BLG, so maybe not actually going to happen this time around, as we were talking about Kalist Champion Pool quite a lot, but he might have been cooking something up, as there is the Ambessa, so locking in the top side of the map here for Gen G. Ambessa feeling like a better pick when you can just ban away Renekton in the next round of bans, and that is precisely what they're going to look to do here. There is that Renekton.
Yeah, so they're going to want to protect this pick. Instead of going for a support counter pick, they want to have a strong duo and keep that relatively hidden. I think this is the correct choice here for Gen G, since they can now protect this top lane pick. Again, I guess we didn't mention
Beautiful.
also be going top lane, but very unlikely in this meta. The Shen will come out as a ban here as well, interestingly. I'm expecting Duro to potentially be playing that one in the bottom lane into the Camille, as we see the Vayne to protect this Ambessa further.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I was actually expecting a Mel ban, right?
Certinho, cara, isso aqui tá caindo.
Have been kind of the premier bottom lane.
Depois eu vou olhar aqui, mas... Enfim. Live deu umas quedas, mas agora eu acho que tá na moral. Vambora, velho. Cara, eu conheço nada de LoL, hein? Seria muito interessante se tivesse alguém aqui, velho. Deixa eu ver se alguém já... Pô, no Bzinho já abriu, a gente podia ter gankado a live dele, né? Ou pelo menos ter aberto.
And they do need damage, and they need it badly here because the Syndra doesn't necessarily have that consistent damage output, so we are looking for a very strong scaling pick for Ruler. The Leona pick here first into the Camille feels fairly safe, and maybe we see something like an Ezreal to come in here for Ruler. In terms of that damage, very commonly paired with that Leona. Obviously, the Ziggs is banned.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what this is going to mean for the rounding out of the KC composition.
The Gnar seems pretty obvious, right? I'm surprised we saw the Vayne into the Ambessa rather than the Gnar. The Gnar a lot more common, especially domestically for
Daí as escolhas dos campeões de LoL, né? Temos quem? Kindra, Kenner, Chove, Ruler, né? Leona. Nossa, tem uma galera ali, ó. Camille, Gnar. Nossa, eu conheço nada de LoL.
Here, but you already have that Cassiopeia late game damage. Something with a little bit more punch to work out as the Kai'Sa fits the dive, but instead they're going to deny this Ezreal here, which is great follow-up to the setup they already have here.
Na moral, que frio.
So let's see what the response is going to be here now for Ruler.
Que frio.
But I don't think it necessarily suits what this composition is set up to be here for Gen G, so expecting something a little bit different here. Jhin,
okay. So this just means that Gen G really does just want to play fast and loose through the top side of the map. Ruler can just hang back and try and pick up waves where he can and follow up on the crazy skirmishes that this composition will be capable of. But man, this is a huge treat, right? We get Canyon's Lee Sin in Game 1 of EWC 2026.
The player I think has the most agency is Kalist, because if he gets caught by any of that initial CC, even though he has Arcane Shift, the follow-up is so simple, right? You have the Ambessa ult, you have the Syndra Scatter the Weak, right? So if you get caught by Leona, get slowed, you get caught by another piece of CC, it doesn't matter how mobile you are on the Ezreal, you're going to be vulnerable. Same with the Cassiopeia, who's very immobile as well. This composition from Gen G is oppressive, especially from ahead, because it is just so easy to link those CCs together and have Ruler take somebody out from halfway across the map. But if it falls behind, loses map control, it falls apart like a house of cards, and that's when the scaling composition that is on the other side can really shine here for KC.
Yeah, exactly right. I do think that Gen G have really picked for like high octane, right? Like they want to be coming out of the gate swinging, and I'm really glad to see that because Gen G have been known as a slower team just generally, and this time around definitely looking like they're operating a little bit more quickly. That being said, the gameplay does need to reflect that, as here we are onto the Rift for game number 1 of EWC 2026. Seeing whether our winners of last year are going to be able to come out the gate swinging, or whether it is going to be KC to immediately start off the tournament with an upset.
It is what everyone is looking to see here now, as Chovy was a Syndra player in his early days, especially back at his time on Hanwha Life Esports, where it was the premier mid lane pick. alongside Oriana for many, many months in 2021, but it has not been one of his go-tos since it has been much less meta recently. So excited to see what his form is going to look like right now. When you see it this early in the draft, you could see Gen.G were planning to build towards something like a Syndra Jhin setup, but also a lot of lane dominance potentially for this Syndra pick, depending on how many of these orbs Chovy can hit.
Yeah, we're seeing actually Yehu finding so many of these noxious blasts onto Chovy, hits 3 in a row. And as you can see here, Chovy not quite finding the cues. And so Yehu able to get a really good shove here at the early stage of the game. Great engage here from Busio here towards the bottom side. At the same time, gets the heal out already from Ruler and Duro, who look like they're shaking the rust off here just a little bit to start off EWC. KC,
Começou, hein? Nossa, meus comentários logo vão ser animadores. Animadores. Começa a magia, ó, de um lado. Magia do outro. Eles estão lançando magia ali, cara. Vai ser interessante, velho. Interessante.
Great laning phase here from Yehu so far, who has just pulled ahead substantially.
Yeah, 9-12. That is not what I was expecting. Well, 9-11. I tried to like do it a little bit early. CS didn't actually come on down, but still, very, very nicely done from Yehu so far in this game. As Busio finds a bit of an angle towards Duro, taking some cheeky mystic shots here, and KC really making things happen. 300 gold, the advantage.
Yehu, with teleport advantage right now, could look for just a few more bursty trades here and wind up finding himself in a huge health advantage to further that lead. Chovy kind of in trouble here, as Ruler's back will not be stopped.
Yeah, Kalist not able to get over there with the Mystic Shot, so they will just be able to crash this wave and get themselves a pretty nice back. Looking on the top side of the map, Keen getting pushed in, but is able to farm pretty comfortably, as we're going to see here. And Kana is playing with a